What is up everyone, Dan here, and today I'm going to be doing the top 5 things I want to see in Arrow Season 6. So of course, as I am recording this video, Arrow Season 6 is literally just about a week away, as are all of the other CWDC shows. So I thought, what better thing to do than to tell you guys what I want to see from the new upcoming season of Arrow. Of course, careful for spoilers if you have not been caught up on Arrow yet. I mean, what the fuck were you doing? Season 5 was amazing. I even have a review for it on my channel. So yeah, let's just get straight into it, into my top 5 things I want to see for Arrow Season 6. And it's not going to be ranked either, so don't expect a ranking of what's the most, thing that I want to see the most, or the thing I'm not too keen on. These are just 5 things I really want to see in the show next season. So the first one I have got written down here is quite a simple one. I want Richard Dragon to be the main big bad of Season 6. Now, I know Season 6 is going to have a multitude of villains. Of course, we've got Richard Dragon, Michael Emerson's character that he's going to be playing in Season 6, which is most likely going to be Caden James, the leader of Helix. We've also got Samantha Watson, who's an FBI agent who's going to be trying to out Oliver as the Green Arrow. And of course we have got, last but not least, Black Siren. So those are the confirmed villains that we have for Season 6. But if I had to pick one, like I just said earlier, that I would want to be the overarching villain, it would be Richard Dragon. The producers of Arrow have said this season that every villain that they're going to have is essentially going to be a rival to somebody else. So of course with Caden James it will be Felicity's rival, with Richard Dragon it will be Oliver's rival, with Black Siren it will be Black Canary's. You get the picture. But I want to see Richard Dragon get the bulk of the screen time, in my opinion, and I think he probably will do, considering he'll probably be the most skilled at hand-to-hand combat. So obviously they're going to want to take advantage of that, and especially with Prometheus last season, since he was quite a good fighter, I reckon they're probably going to do the same thing with the person they're going to spend the most time with villain-wise this season as well. But this also leads me on to my second point, which is try to develop all of the villains equally and give them equal screen time. A big worry that I have going into this season is I feel like some villains are going to feel very underdeveloped compared to others. And this is usually the problem that I have with movies that try to incorporate too many villains into their films, such as Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for good examples. Those movies suffered because they had too many villains in them, and they just overall were not able to find time to develop all of them and make them stand out. And as a result, you ended up with about 2 villains that really were forgettable, and 1 villain that did stand out but just wasn't great. I hope this isn't going to be the case in Season 6, and hope all the villains get a lot of development. We've already seen Black Siren in Season 5, so don't try to focus on her all of the time. Try to use some time to develop into Caden James, or Richard Dragon, or Samantha Watson, and let us see more into their psychology and how they believe that Star City should be run. My third request for Arrow Season 6 is for it not to be bombarded with Olicity. Now, as much as I really don't want to accept it, it looks as if from set photos that Olicity is going to be happening. And if the producers are going to go down this route and have them together, then I just want one thing, and that's not for them to force it down our throats and try and rush it. That's the worst thing they could do. That was for me the biggest problem with Season 4 of Arrow. Their relationship felt so rushed. Within the span of 9 episodes, they got engaged, which just felt so weird. And plus, in general, I'm just not a big fan of these characters together. I don't know, I just don't really like their chemistry. I preferred it when it was just a friendship basis, in my opinion. I know some people who watch my channel feel the same way. But yeah, I just don't really enjoy seeing them as a couple. But if they are going to do it, just don't try to shove it down our throats. Don't make it the main bulk of the storyline. Don't sacrifice what good plots we could have in Season 6 just for Olicity and just to please the fandom, which is already sad enough as it is, in my opinion. And I have stated one promise that I'm going to make in Arrow Season 6, and that's that if Oliver and Felicity get married, I will stop watching the show. Hands down, because I just will not accept that shit whatsoever. My fourth thing I want to see in Arrow Season 4 is for more of a storyline to be given to Diggle. Now, I feel like Diggle last year was a little bit left out, in my opinion, in terms of storyline, which was understandable considering he was in jail for quite a considerable run of last season. but I just felt like he didn't really do a whole lot, and I would love to see him given more of a storyline. I liked what they tried to do with him in Season 4, with him and his brother Andy. It was probably one of the few things that I actually liked about Season 4. So I would like to see them try and give him more of a personal storyline, and just make his character feel a little bit more involved. The same thing could probably be said for Thea, considering she was gone for about half of last season due to the fact that Willa Holland was only contracted for 13 episodes for some very strange reason. I don't know whether it's because she doesn't really like the show as much as she used to, since she's even admitted that she wasn't a big fan of them deciding to make her character Speedy. Maybe she'll leave the show at the end of this season, I have no clue, but I just love to see her given more of a storyline and just play a bit more of an important role this season. And the other person I'd like to see a little bit more of is probably Quentin. I agree with some of the people who feel like he was a little bit shafted aside, and that, you know, his whole alcoholism storyline just felt a bit repetitive. And also his whole storyline of him trying to get into the mayor's office with Oliver and helping them out there just got a bit old as well. So yeah, I mean, I can understand the criticisms for that, but I did like the storyline they introduced with him and Wild Dog later on in Season 5. You know, this kind of father-son dynamic, and I hope that continues in Season 6. If they do that, then I've probably got no problems with them trying to make a new storyline, just so long as they develop that one. I think that will be good enough in my opinion. The final thing I want to see in Arrow Season 6 is Black Siren be given a good and satisfying redemption arc throughout Season 6. Black Siren for me was probably one of my favourite parts of Season 5. I mean, I just love Katie Cassidy, and I think she's an awesome villain whenever she plays one. And Black Siren just really fit her. I mean, just her whole attitude and just her whole backstory and her personality. I just found her easily to be one of the most interesting additions last season, especially her dynamic with the characters and how different it is compared to her Earth 1 counterpart. Now, there's been a lot of talk about whether she will have a redemption arc in Season 6, and I think it's just very clear that they are going to be going down that route. But I don't think it's going to happen in the first half of the season like people think. I think it's going to be a natural progression throughout the whole season, so that by the end of the season, she probably will be working closer with Team Arrow, but maybe she won't fully join them. Maybe she'll be, you know, an anti-hero. She'll sometimes occasionally team up with Team Arrow, but, you know, she still likes to do things her own way. I hope they give her that kind of a redemption arc and not her just full-on joining Team Arrow in the mid-season finale, because I feel like that would be a little bit rushed. And also, I would love to explore Black Siren's backstory. I'm pretty sure they've 99.9% confirmed that we are going to get a flashback to her time on Earth 2, which I think is going to be awesome. I really want to see that. I really want to understand her motivations a lot more. We got hints of it in Season 5, but if they could be more fleshed out in Season 6, I think that would be a very interesting storyline. I mean, everybody's really excited to see what they do with this character. I really am interested in her. I think Katie Cassidy's going to bring her A-game to this character, and I just love Black Siren, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with her in Season 6. So that is it for today's video on the top 5 things I want to see in Arrow Season 6. Of course, let me know in the comment section down below what you want to see in Arrow Season 6. And with that being said, I would like to thank you all very much for watching the video, and I hope to see you again next time.